It's the 2 Minute Hats podcast. Let's talk about it. Every morning at 8:30 a.m. and also on Wednesday it's the midweek service at 6:30 p.m. You can also join our Facebook group on Facebook. It's the podcast with the most. We got Tony Mays and Lavelle Salter. It's the 2 Minute Hats podcast. Let's talk about it.
Top of the morning to you facers. Happy Tuesday.
You get on this side. I get on this side. I don't know. Normally you on this side, I'm on this side.
Oh, it depends on who click in first.
Oh, okay then.
Then you can keep changing it up, so it don't really matter.
Oh, yeah.
Hey man, look, it's another beautiful day outside, bro.
Yeah.
We're in the land of the dying, on our way to the land of the living, and it's just good. Hey man, look, early vote. If you guys are not early voted, go out and early vote. And if you don't early vote, just make sure you vote on November the 5th.
Yes, sir. Please, sir.
It's a must.
I don't even want to get into it because I already know how you feel about those conversations, but I was watching some stuff this morning, bro.
You know they had that one on BET tonight, the black men being heard or something like that.
Who did? Trump?
No. They having a discussion tonight with all the black men that's that's on BET. I think D.L. Hughley hosting it.
I probably have to watch it on YouTube later, so yeah, I got karaoke tonight, but
yeah. Well, don't come on to 10.
Oh, really? Well, I don't know
that's what they say. That's what they advertise. They come on at 10 tonight.
It's probably Eastern Standard, so it probably come on 8 or 9 that time.
He just said 10, so
yeah.
You know.
Anyway, like I said, I don't even want to start on that conversation because anyway, they was able to say some stuff that if we would have said some stuff like that, they would have had our throats. So yeah, never mind.
Yeah, we definitely living in some different times, you know.
Bro.
So, but
hey,
I
know eventually we're gonna have to touch some of them subjects, whether we want to or not, just because of the culture in which we live in. When you do these podcasts, just because of our voice, and I know our voice will continue to grow.
Yeah,
but yeah, Doc.
Yeah, I'm not big because one of the reasons because I know politics tend to bring out the ugly in people.
Yeah,
and I like, we said at the beginning of this when we started, we wanted to try to keep it as positive as possible.
Correct.
Even with our comments and stuff, we try to, respect everybody's comments and all that, but we don't want you to be on here just, talking bad about people or people's affiliations and, and all that kind of stuff too. So let's jump on in this topic. We don't have long. Let's jump on into this topic, man. Yesterday I said I kind of put it on the men. I said, men, how do we gain or keep a woman in a relationship when we are not intentional in the way that we pay attention or not pay attention to them? Good morning, Pops. And so that sparked up a conversation yesterday where it kind of went back to the men as well, because I really feel like that sometimes I don't want to say women don't think we have feelings, but our feelings are not
valued.
I don't even want to say valued, but they not even recognized. Like they're not even brought to the forefront. Like they're just non-existent, sitting on the back burner somewhere. Okay. And so, because again, when we talk about historically what has always been taught to men, a young man, hey, you grow up, man, you toughen it out. We even made the analogy. I don't know if that was you or whoever made the analogy that when a kid falls down, that when a little boy falls as a baby, get up, boy, get up, you gonna be all right. But the little girl, we go over there and pick her up and rub her little boo boo, kiss her boo boo. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
we've been taught that from the time that we can walk, just to be
right,
tough, to be, be a protector, to be a provider.
right.
But we discover, man, being a provider is just and a protector is just not about the physical or financial. It's more to that than to just that. So I
Absolutely.
know you have a video queued up this morning. I don't know if you want to start it off with that, and then we just kind of dive into the conversation a little
Yeah,
more.
we're gonna have to because she's a little lengthy, but she gets into the nuts and bolts of what we've been saying probably since we even started our podcast. Because when my partner sent it to me and I watched it, I was like, "Wow!" It just brought up so much stuff that we've been saying, and she broke it down like, "Wow!" So yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead
we
on
have to
then.
do this here.
Is tied to what they can provide tangibly. That can be working
How
and
do I
to no
bring it back?
end just to pay bills and keep a roof over their heads. That's it. I've also found this.
Here we go.
As a psychologist, I can tell you one of the main things you need to understand about Black men in relationships is this. It is incredibly difficult for someone to model what they have never had. And most Black men grow up hearing the message that their worth is tied to what they can provide tangibly. That can be working and to no end just to pay bills and keep a roof over their heads. That's it. I've also found this difference in the messaging that Black men versus Black women get. There are very many different messages, but a lot of times they're told to focus on taking care of their house, like handling bills and protection, while women are often encouraged to create a home, a space filled with warmth, love, and emotional connection. What many Black men have never had is this affirming relationship that values them for who they are beyond what they can provide tangibly. So we live in a society that adultifies and dehumanizes Black boys who grow into Black men facing a world that not only doesn't support their growth, but works extra hard to try to stunt the growth of Black men. And without positive examples of love and vulnerability and emotional safety, it's going to be hard for them to build the relationships they deserve with themselves and with others. So here are 2 ways to create affirming relationships with Black men. 1, if you want Black men to elevate their emotional capacity and be more than just the check and what they can slang, smash it in, let me smack it, girl. You know what I'm saying? Then you need to regularly affirm Black men for qualities that have nothing to do with their ability to provide cash or the D. And you know what I'm talking about. Compliment their character, their kindness, their resilience, their humor, their values. I'm just saying, like we talking about, we want men to provide more. Like, what can you add to my relationship? And the only thing you affirm them for is when they pay for something or they put it down. What else are they supposed to prioritize? Let Black men know that you appreciate their presence and value in your life, regardless of what they can offer solely in the material realm. This helps to break down the mindset that their worth is only tied to tangible contributions. If we want more, we have to affirm the more that they give. And next, you have to create a safe space for vulnerability in the first place. Encourage open conversations where they can express their feelings and their thoughts and their fears and emotions without judgment. Without judgment. Without judgment. And let's be real. You can't expect someone to open up if every time they share, you make it all about you. You snap about them, or worse, you store it up. You store these words up for future arguments.
Yep.
So if you're not ready to be a safe space,
Bro.
don't act surprised when individuals keep their feelings locked up. And I know what you're going to say, Dr. Martin. How will I know if I'm not ready to be a safe space? Like, what does that look like? Practice active listening and validating emotions to help create a safe space for individuals, for Black men to feel valued for who they are, not just what they do. For all the women who want Black men in their lives to open up, understanding these barriers is key. Let's create a safe space for Black men to be seen and valued for their full selves beyond what they can provide, so that they can heal and we as a community can heal. We can just build all of these deeper connections that we all deserve.
Bro. Bro. I don't even know what else to say behind that, Doc. Because we've been everything she said. I'm like, Tony done said it 1,000 times. I probably done said it 1,500 times, bro. And she right here from Nashville. She 3 hours up the road. I'm like, I wish we can get her on the show.
Well, when she's a psychologist, so
Correct.
People like that tend to understand more of the emotional intelligence, the aspects of men being vulnerable, and these are things that I was talking about at the top of the show when I said that we're it's like we don't necessarily have feelings. Like, our feelings are put way back in closet in the old barn on the top of the barn back in the you know what I'm saying? You got to
Right.
dust our feelings off. You know what I'm saying? It's like our feelings don't really matter. And so that's why when I run across women and we have these conversations and I hear women saying, I'm gonna check in with my man. I'm gonna make sure, and it sound good. And if
Mhm.
they're doing it, that's what it should be. It shouldn't be always us checking in or us providing, us doing, checking on, not walking, tiptoeing around your feelings when we have feelings ourselves.
Right.
Craig said that they're not equivalent, and they're not, because I mean I think that analogy she used at the top of her opening, where she used the house and the home.
Yes.
That was incredible, bro,
Yeah.
because she talked about how men are taught to get up, provide for the house,
Mhm.
right? To do and protect the house. But the women are taught to provide a home.
Mhm.
And that's crazy, bro.
Right. Yeah.
That is crazy, but it's true.
Mhm.
It's so true. And
Yeah.
so, you know, and I don't want to look, women, I'm not trying to deflect from us being intentional as it relates to us acknowledging you, paying attention to you. I'm not. All I'm saying is that the same should be done for us.
Correct.
You know, my wife does this thing. If I say, y'all know Pepper be all up in our Kool-Aid, right? Pepper be there.
Right.
So I walk in the room, and because when you walk in, you can see she got them big old eyes. She looking at you. She happy. She jumping all over the place. And first thing I say, "Hey, Pepper. Hey, pretty girl." And when I say, "Hey, pretty girl," my wife will say, "Hey."
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like, "Hey, I'm right here too. I'm a pretty girl too." So yesterday I was messing with her. And that was this morning. I was messing with her, and she said she walked out the room from the closet getting dressed. She looked at Pepper. She said, "Hey, pretty girl," and I said, "Hey." Then she said, "You a pretty girl?" All I was trying to say is, I'm just like you want. You want that attention.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So
Yep.
that Craig, that right there is so overrated.
Yeah, but look at the end of what he said though. Happy spouse, happy house. Not happy wife, happy life. Yes.
Yeah.
I love that
Okay.
part.
I love, because the spouse can go both ways. I got you.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. At first when I saw it, I didn't even see that.
All I saw was that happy wifey,
Yep.
and yeah,
I did too.
happy wife,
Yeah.
happy life. No, it's happy spouse, happy house. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
bro, but the other part is that when she talked about it, the even to the part to where when you were a child and how and I guess, man, uh when you think about your childhood, you don't even really think about the stuff that you take in subconsciously
mm-hmm.
and the things that people say and the things that you go through in life that could still have trauma, especially when it comes to young boys, because boys coming to meet young men and et cetera.
Yeah.
But it's like it's still there, and I don't think that we even bring it to the forefront to how it's really affecting a lot of people's lives.
Because a lot of people don't even understand that they have that trauma, or that they're even going through that trauma.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even recognize that. They don't even, until somebody bring it up that really understands us about that life, right?
Mm-hmm.
And really understands it and brings it to their attention. He was like, you know what? How many times have you said, you like, wow, I ain't really thinking about that way. Yeah. Then you started really thinking back in retrospect about your life coming up and some of the stuff you experienced. You was like, yeah, that was not normal.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then you begin to say, man, I really did experience a trauma, but you locked it away.
Right.
Man, you put it in a box, put a padlock on it, locked it away, and you went on with your life.
And of course, on neither part, either gender is it healthy at all. But I
Right.
believe that a lot of times it's more nurtured and dealt with the women more so than with the men. Because like you say, we just supposed to pick up and go ahead with life. You know what I'm saying? Suck it up. You know what I'm saying? Men ain't supposed to cry. Yada 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 yada. And
Because women have always been taught to share their feelings. Tell us what's
right,
going on. But the
right.
boys, it was like, man, you gonna be all right, suck it up.
Yeah, yeah.
You
You know,
know.
so a man's supposed to be strong. So we got on this invisible cape that we have on that we don't even realize we have on. And a lot of time when we come home, we don't know how to take the cape off. Man, this super saving syndrome is very detrimental. You know what I'm saying? It's an actual thing that people suffer from, don't even know they realize that they suffer from what they call a savior syndrome. You can't save everybody, and I'm guilty of it.
But you have a lot of people.
You be in action trying to save everybody else, and you're drowning yourself.
Right.
So
You have a lot of people that when you run across some bruised and battered people, especially as it relates to relationships, some people can see it and they be like, I want to nurture that, especially women, you know, because they have it, you know, some women can see it when they have that nurture and they want to nurture it. But if you're dealing with a man that does not truly understand that trauma that he's experienced, that trauma that he's been through, how are you going to be able to nurture something that he doesn't even realize he's been going through, or none of it?
right, yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Oh man, I don't know if I shared this or not, and I probably should have, but on tonight's conversation, I heard a woman ask a question about you know, she's with this man, she provides all of these wifey, she does all these wifey duties, wifey responsibilities, and he has said that he's not ready and blah blah blah. And so dude said, ma'am, do you not understand your value? Like, why are you why are you trying to spin the wheel and throw out wifey duties and responsibilities to somebody who did told you clearly
Right,
they ain't
that I'm
ready?
not ready. Right.
They're not ready for that. Why waste your time and spend your energy?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you got to know your value. And so what I'm saying with women is, when you see a man who's experienced that kind of pain, past pain or trauma, and they don't really realize it, and you see that, you ain't gonna be able to fix that.
And I would listen to some of her other reels, and I never did think about these two terms. We use transparency all the time, and you use vulnerable a lot as well. But a lot of times we don't really know the difference between transparency and being vulnerable, and we accept the transparency, but we don't want to deal with the vulnerability. Because
Yeah.
vulnerability, I'm literally at this point, if I'm vulnerable with you, that means that I trust you with what I'm saying, and then
Transparency is just simply showing, just basically pulling the curtains back and let you look in my window.
it's a sneak peek.
You know what I'm saying? You just, you know, you looking in and you say, okay, they got a nice this, they got, okay, yeah, okay, oh, they got that, you know.
Vulnerability is
But
very different, though.
vulnerability is when you open up the windows and then you say, I'm hurting. I got this. I've suffered with this. I'm going now. You're opening up and sharing more of the intimate detail aspects of your life. You're not
Mm-hmm.
just sharing you're not getting a top surface view with transparency. Now you looking, you know, you looking
Right.
at the heart, you know, past the
Mm-hmm.
heart. You looking at
Yeah.
everything that's going on with me, and I'm being vulnerable by sharing all that with you. And then when you take that, like she said, when you take those and you hold that for a future argument.
Transparency is not vulnerability. I promise you, it's not. It's not the same
Now,
thing.
you can be transparent and not vulnerable.
Yeah, it's two different things. Doc. I respect
Yeah,
your
yeah,
comment, of
yeah.
course, but it's
You
two
can be
different things.
transparent and not vulnerable.
Yeah.
Transparent is just, you know, like really taking a look into, you know, like I just said, open curtains and where somebody can look in and see what's, but they don't really see the intimate aspects of your life or what you're dealing with. They just see like that surface view. That's why people even look now from the outside, like your neighbors, they see you riding a Range Rover, all this, but they don't know what kind of hell and how wide you've been through to get it.
Absolutely. And men tend to be more transparent, and women women tend to be more vulnerable. But whenever you get a man that can be more vulnerable with you, be very careful with it, because if you take that and trample over it and don't
And
use
use
it
it
correctly,
against him or try to use it against him,
it's
it's over. It's over. It's a wrap.
Yeah.
He's shutting down with you forever. If he don't just check out and be like, I'm going on,
Yeah. So no, they're not the same thing, my brother.
Yeah. So
vulnerable can be a very dangerous place to be in.
If we and again, I don't want to deflect from our initial topic of saying that we need to be more intentional with how we recognize and how we talk to and how we share with our women, and recognize their feelings and all this stuff, man, and how beautiful their eyes are, how beautiful they are, and all of these things. But it's the same has to be done for the men.
Well, the thing about it is, that's so valuable about this is that when we do these actions and we do these steps and do these things, both parties win.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you can, you're in the pursuit of being whole and not just being healthy. That's a big difference. You know what I'm saying? And so it ain't like you putting yourself on the back burner because you're pouring into me, but at the same point in time, you're going to receive from that, because you have a person that's in the pursuit of being whole for
right.
all parties included.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Doc. Good morning,
y'all. Yeah, it's just tough sometimes, man, as men, and I'm gonna keep going back to, like, I'm not trying to deflect or take away from anything, any light that we've shown on the women or trying to shine on the women, but I think this is a duality thing. This is this thing should be done all the way around the board in relationships. I think men
should go both ways. It should be a pendulum clock, swing back and forth.
See, that's the thing right there, Azon, and that's what I don't know if you just getting on, didn't see the video, but basically that's exactly what the doctor said. She said, that women have used vulnerability and they weaponized it against men. And that's not cool in no form. It ain't cool if you use it towards the women or the, you know what I'm saying? So no. And especially men, because again, we've been taught all our life to be strong, to be the protector, to take care of the house. We put this responsibility on as little boys growing up, and we don't talk to be vulnerable. We don't talk to have some transparency. We're not taught. We're just taught to take care of the woman and whatever her feelings is. I hear a lot of older men. I've heard it so much, man, and I agree to an extent. Where I've heard interviews where they've asked older couples, maybe the man, they said, how long have y'all been? Oh, we've been married 55 years. And they'd be like, whoa, man. That's like, what do you do to stay married for 55 years? And the man would say, do whatever she tell me. Something like that. And I was like,
honey do this, honey do that.
And I agree to a certain extent, but it ain't. If that's all it is, hell, we ought to be superstar husbands, but that ain't all it is too.
Right. Wow.
Margaret Ingram said, if we're in this thing together, his feelings are just important as mine. Good morning, guys. Good morning, Marsha. Lulu said, good morning. Just added 4 people to 2 men that had group. Awesome, Lulu. Good morning, Tony. Courtney just turned me on to you. Okay, y'all come on in here. Y'all doing it. I think men.
Go ahead.
Craig said, I think men more so hit on this subject nowadays because we're the ones that have compressed things for so long. Yeah. And because we've been taught that though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been taught that all our lives. You know, like again, when I felt as a little boy, they knocked the dust off. Get up, you'll be all right.
Mm-hmm.
But my sister fell. It's give me kiss the boo boo. You know, we didn't get there.
Yeah.
And so we take that on into adulthood, and we continue, you know, as we develop, you know, get our own families and start to build our own families. And you know, we start to take on that same responsibility. You know, when my boys fail, the same stuff. My son fail. Get on up, you'll be all right. When the mama want to run up there, and I leave him alone, he'll be all right.
Yeah.
But if my daughter did,
you don't really hear this term used a lot like you used to growing up, but you hear folks say, man, I'm hard. Of course, you heard it from men. Man, I'm hard, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that nigga hard. Da 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 da. And honestly, it's not used, but it's actually played out because a lot of us are hard, and that's why our heart is messed up because we got this shell, and we need to crack this shell open.
Yeah, listen to what Azon just said. Exactly what you were saying.
Mm-hmm. I've been told I won't open up, and I act numb to things or nonchalant. Yep. Exactly,
and that's not good, bro. Though, but that's not good at all.
No, it's not.
That's not good at all, man. If you can't share, and I get what you're saying that you ain't gonna allow no woman to use your vulnerability to be a weapon against you, and I get that because that has happened, you know. But man, if we lived our life like that, bro, we'll never find happiness, man. We
be concerned about the outcome, and we methodically thinking like, damn, what's she gonna say? What's she gonna think? So we overly think the situation, and sometimes it may not be that bad. But I know for myself personally, with my wife, a lot of times I be thinking like, damn, if I say this, what's she gonna think? Da 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 da. And then when we had a conversation, I'd be like, oh damn, it went that bad.
Right.
So here it is. I don't hear this all this.
You just gotta have the conversation.
Yeah.
I'm finna be transparent and a little vulnerable at the same time.
Okay.
Which you already know this.
Right.
This was hard for me. This was hard for me to open up to my wife. And I think this is why, like early on in our marriage, we struggled because I didn't have a good example of I don't really want to say I didn't have a good example because my stepfather was a good provider. Okay. But he was never home. He was always out trying to make money to provide.
Right.
So when I say I didn't have a good example, I mean nobody in the household to show me how to be a good husband.
Right.
Because I didn't equate him providing being a good husband.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't equate that to that, and that was a young man. So right. When I became a husband myself at a young age, I had to try to figure out in my flaws, in all my flaws, I had to try to figure out how to be a good husband. And like I said, not having nothing to really engage after. It was like, but what I was willing to do is listen to some people who may have been married for a while. It's like that's why it's like I've always liked to hang around older people.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
And when you talk to an older person about their marriage, they ain't gonna share most of the time if they don't know you, they're not gonna share all the trouble they went through, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you talk to some people that you know that's old that been married for a while, they're gonna share with you, bro. Mm-hmm. And when I started to talk to people, and then I started to see, like even with my grandmother and granddad, I always be around them. And so and all around them was all of the elderly people. They sit on their porch and stuff like that. And I used to be out there talking. But I watched, even though my I watched my granddad would come in sometimes drunk and he'll do the little nursery rhymes for us all that. We'd be laughing. It was funny. But the same token, man, what I saw was even though he would pee my grandmother off, and my grandma tee off on him sometimes. She hit him with a skillet one time, knocked him out cold.
Damn.
Right there in front of us. We tried to pick him up. She said, leave him there, he'll get up.
Damn.
But I still saw the love, bro. Like that love. So it let me know that you're gonna go through some challenges.
Right.
But in the end, that love was stronger than whatever challenge or whatever they went through, that bond they had. When my granddaddy died, bro, my grandmama was sitting in the living room. When he died, the doorbell rung. She walked to the door and looked out there. There wasn't nobody out there. She said she called him Booster. That was just Booster letting me know he was going on home.
Wow.
Bro, like, I can't make this stuff up, bro. And so that was a bond, bro. You know what I'm saying? So when I think in retrospect back to that, even though I thought I didn't have some examples of how I really did. And it was because I was willing to listen. So anyway, and I think that's kind of how I got through those tough times, bro.
Well, me being knowing you as long as I have, Doc, and we got to get to these comments right quick. And you was I got married when I met you. You was already married when I met you. I think y'all had been married about maybe 8 years, maybe somewhere around in there. But I will say this, bro, you have grown so much, bro, as a man when it comes to your wife, your family, and I had to give you your flowers. I saw the transformation. It'd be different if I just I just automatically just said, "Oh, he here." No, dude, I'm talking about because you kind of bullheaded. You know what I'm saying? You're a Leo.
Yeah.
But it's like now, bro, just to see how you've blossomed and see how you know what I'm saying, how you interact with Monica and interact with other loved ones around you, bro. Kudos, dog, because you weren't always there.
Yeah. We stopped off with Azon.
Yeah, I don't even know where we get.
right here with Azon, that one that's up on the screen.
I thought we had Monica first. Monica was up under that. People have.
Monica.
Nonchalant.
She said,
yeah. People have gotten too comfortable and just going through the motions and repetition and no. A no for me. Okay, a no for me.
Repetition is a no for her. Yeah.
Gotcha. Then we back on the one you just put up there. My name is Kohar for a reason. I'm just weighing my options. I have to see a therapist about it. I'm also a 19-year veteran. I have seen so much at a young age, and I know it's not an excuse. That's not your real last name on this. You need to probably take this stigma off your name, Doc. Anyway, just building as it is. I'm just building it as I'm flying. It's just what's working for me now. I got you. Me too. I soak up so much from older peers. Yeah, my uncle were hard bodies, and it's still stuff in me, and it's absolute to this day and age.
Obsolete, yeah.
Obsolete, yeah. I'll let you read that one.
Tatrice said a lot of men have only had this example of providing, which is why they grow up and lack emotional intelligence and true intimacy with their spouse. Transparency, communication is key, even therapy. Yep. Maturity is powerful. Nope.
Yeah.
LOL. Yep.
I guess you want taking cold hard off your hand. I got you. Off your name, brother.
Yeah, man. I pray that you do find, peace in dealing with your therapist, man, and that you get to work out whatever issues that you're dealing with. I know being a veteran and some of the stuff that you may have seen, me being a veteran myself and witness certain things, some stuff you can't really get out your mind, and some stuff you can. It's just like when you see somebody die, it's hard to really get that out your mind, unless you have to be a cold. Look, a cold-hearted person.
Literally.
That's a play on word. You have to be a cold-hearted person, really, to not see somebody die and not feel something.
Right. Yeah.
And it's just a play on word, bro. No pun intended.
Now, but you gotta understand, words have power, Doc. That's why they call it when you do. That's why when you say a word out, you spell a word. That's why that word called spell, because it's never mind. I ain't gonna go deep into it.
You better hit it with that labellology.
Yeah, Doc.
Look, man, this has been good, man. I really, for the ones that just jumped on, bro, I wish you could cue the video and play it again, just to give them a tap. Okay,
I will.
I want y'all to really listen to this, because this is applicable in both male and female, both sides of the relationship.
Yep.
I can tell you one of the main things you need to understand about Black men in relationships is this. It is incredibly difficult for someone to model what they have never had. And most Black men grow up hearing the message that their worth is tied to what they can provide tangibly. That can be working into no end just to pay bills and keep a roof over their heads. That's it. I've also found this difference in the messaging that Black men versus Black women get. There are very many different messages, but a lot of times they're told to focus on taking care of their house, like handling bills and protection, while women are often encouraged to create a home, a space filled with warmth, love, and emotional connection. What many Black men have never had is this affirming relationship that values them for who they are, beyond what they can provide tangibly. So we live in a society that adultifies and dehumanizes Black boys who grow into Black men facing a world that not only doesn't support their growth, but works extra hard to try to stunt the growth of Black men. And without positive examples of love and vulnerability and emotional safety, it's going to be hard for them to build the relationships they deserve with themselves and with others. So here are 2 ways to create affirming relationships with Black men. 1, if you want Black men to elevate their emotional capacity and be more than just the check and what they can slang, smash it in, let me smack it, girl. You know what I'm saying? Then you need to regularly affirm Black men for qualities that have nothing to do with their ability to provide cash or the D. And you know what I'm talking about. Compliment their character, their kindness, their resilience, their humor, their values. I'm just saying, like we talking about, we want men to provide more. Like, what can you add to my relationship? And the only thing you affirm them for is when they pay for something or they put it down. What else are they supposed to prioritize? Let Black men know that you appreciate their presence and value in your life, regardless of what they can offer solely in the material realm. This helps to break down the mindset that their worth is only tied to tangible contributions. If we want more, we have to affirm the more that they give. And next, you have to create a safe space for vulnerability in the first place. Encourage open conversations where they can express their feelings and their thoughts and their fears and emotions without judgment. Without judgment. And let's be real. You can't expect someone to open up if every time they share, you make it all about you. You snap about them, or worse, you store it up. You store these words up for future arguments. So if you're not ready to be a safe space, don't act surprised when individuals keep their feelings locked up. And I know what you're going to say, Dr. Martin. How will I know if I'm not ready to be a safe space? Like, what does that look like? Practice active listening and validating emotions to help create a safe space for individuals, for Black men to feel valued for who they are, not just what they do. For all the women who want Black men in their lives to open up, understanding these barriers is key. Let's create a safe space for Black men to be seen and valued for their full selves beyond what they can provide, so that they can heal and we.
That's enough, Doc. Doc, that whole little short reel, bro, can literally be multiple shows. You just break it down to segments.
Yeah.
Wow, bro.
But I think she really touched on what we've been talking about in terms of men. And she broke it down as to why, we don't want to expose ourselves, through vulnerability, because it's been, as Azan said, weaponized against us. They'll take that and store it up for later, for an argument later. If I tell you that I've been having some issues getting it up, and then we have an argument a week, 2 weeks later, he said, that's why you can't get your shit up. Bro, I'll never tell you nothing again. Like, it's over. It's a wrap. That relationship to me is over, because I'm not sharing with you no more, because you just took something that I entrusted to you that was vulnerable to me for one, you know, for a man to tell you that you know, that was deep. And then for you to come back and just throw it up in an argument later, oh, it's a wrap. And you have women, man, that do that.
Right. And well, that's a whole nother conversation within itself. But I think too, when you share those intimate feelings, and if you're, like she said, actively listening and really hear that person's heart, you will understand that if the danger in which, if you use that against me, that you're further shutting me down even more.
But they don't care. The women that do that don't care.
That's crazy.
They don't care. Because if you take, I mean, well, at least that's what it's saying to me, that you don't care. For you to blurt out something, if I share it to you, if I'm vulnerable and sharing some of my intimate, most whatever with you, and I'm exposing my vulnerability, and you turn around and that trust is gone, bro. Like, it's over.
Yeah.
Because you showed me you didn't really care about me. You didn't give two flying flips about me or what I said. You just wanted some ammunition for later, a later argument.
Yeah, man. We know you at work, man. It's almost 9:15.
yeah, I gotta get out of here, man. But you know, this is tough with me, man. I know this is a part 2 from yesterday, and I thought we wouldn't have more to talk about, but you know, so we'll come back with something new tomorrow, man. Shout out to breast cancer awareness, man. We almost nearing the end of the month.
Wait, hold on. What am I gonna say? What am I going to stop dealing with 80-20? What? I always know you got something behind your statement. What do you mean? Some of y'all gonna start coming on this show, man, because sometimes these little snippets y'all be giving in the comments, it be a little bit deeper.
Maybe she's talking about a man providing 80% or just, you know, invested 80% in the relationship and the woman only invested 20. That's all. Like
100. Yes.
It's a lot to unpack. It definitely is, Azon, for real. Then it goes from communication to listening to respond with darts. Woo!
Damn.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Oh yeah, relationship, bro. Like we could. That's why a lot of, you know, a lot of our stuff, because I feel like until we really address the elephants in the room as it relates to a relationship, like and relationship can go further beyond just relationships like men and women date. I'm talking about friendships too, like
absolutely.
You know, family. You know, that's relationship. You know, so it's a lot of things that we do to hurt people or to tear down people and not build up people. So you know, relationship, man, we gotta really understand. I think if we can figure out this relationship thing, man, we can be better people, man. We can be better friends, family members, better lovers, all that good stuff. You know, so
well, what we do have to realize is this, and I always say this: when you buy fragile products or something with value, it also always has on the box says fragile, handle with care. And everyone has on their T-shirt and their hoodie, whatever, their cap, and you may not necessarily see it physically, but you gotta almost like see that in the back of your mind is that I got to be very, very, delicate with this situation until I get to know the broken pieces of that person, because a lot of times, even with the fragile handle with care inside where the contents are, even though because somebody didn't handle me, I'm broken on the inside. I open the box. It was supposed to be a vase. It's all broken pieces.
Yeah, I think Andrea said yesterday. It's like, you know, she said, "I'm not looking to get right. I want to be in a relationship. I want to be married, but I want to heal first, and that's what we got to do. We got to heal first." I hadn't been on here in a minute, but this is a good topic. I've got to go back and look at yesterday's show as well. Okay, thank you, Alton. All right, man. Look, I got to get out here, man. Shout out to breast cancer awareness, man. I've been wearing my pink hat all month in honor of breast cancer awareness. We only got 3 more days now, 2 more days. Yeah. And but I've been wearing it all month in honor of breast cancer awareness for those who going through the struggle, have went through the struggle, or have succumbed to the struggle. We honor their memory. And this is something that I really wanted to do. And I did it all month. I wore my hat all month. So look, cool. Shout out to everybody who has given to us for our tents, man. We still are lacking. We need more tents, man. So if y'all can donate so we can get the tents. I found some tents on Temu, but the tents are going quick for like $16 on Temu. I've already ordered a deal with the money that has been donated, but we still are a long way from our goal, and we need your help. We want to be able to hand out these tents to the homeless the Saturday before Thanksgiving. We want to hand these tents. We're networking with the genre of Memphis, Priceless Entertainment, Tatrice Douglas with Sweet Teas Ease is gonna provide snacks. So man, look, we just trying to do the best we can, man, with what we got while we can. So again, man, whatever y'all can do to help, man, we'd appreciate it. And I said, look, we had a really big surge in our 2 Men and a Half group, man. We up to over 200. If one person just bought a tent, each one, we'll have over 200 tents. We'll meet our goal plus some. Yeah. If one person just bought a tent.
We need to go probably to go live in the group one day. Either one of us will. I go in there live together.
Yeah.
Last comments I'm gonna read.
We need y'all help, man. That little $20 for a tent, man, ain't gonna break the bank.
Right. Milo says we all need therapy for relationships so we can
learn.
Learn how to keep it real when a person can alter your motives to be with you. Lies are the basis for the relationship, so problems will always exist. Oh wow. Monica said no. 80% of what 80% of what you want and 20% looks good on the outside. That's and start with
the grown woman mature enough. Okay,
I got you. Okay, it's kind of like what I was saying with the box.
Yeah.
Also,
we appreciate y'all.
We want to say, man, I don't want to make your day a little different, but we gotta say it's the 1 year anniversary of our brother, man, Pastor Bollitt. Rest in peace, man.
Yeah. Prayers out of it.
All right. Father God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for this time. We thank you for just waking us up this morning and giving us the health and strength, Lord God. Give you for just activities of our limbs. Lord, we ask you to continue to touch Tony and his family, touch my family, touch everyone that has come and fellowship with us and talk with us through these topics that we're dealing with. Continue to touch what we're doing. And we ask you to do in your dollar son Jesus' name. And we said amen.
Amen, man. We'll see y'all in the morning. Same bad time.
Same bad place.
2 Men in Hats. Let's talk about it.
Yes, sir. Here's the 2 Men in Hats podcast. Let's talk about it. Every morning at 8:30 a.m. and also on Wednesday is the midweek service at 6:30 p.m. You can also join our Facebook group on Facebook. It's the podcast with the most. We got Tony Mays and Lavelle Salter. It's the 2 Men in Hats podcast. Let's talk about it.